Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. Throughout history, there have been times when a nation has wanted to see their collective hopes, dreams, and expectations manifest in their lifetime. Even though the nation of Israel had God Himself as their source for all things pertaining to life, they wanted a tangible representation to lead them. They wanted a king. Sadly, their rejection of God as provider not only led Saul to being elevated as king, but saw the idolatrous Israelites establish him as the ruler over their hearts. That lesson is important today as we look for answers to our present day political problems. Keep this in mind as I share with you what the Lord said to me just a few days ago.
It is not a man that shall save this nation, but my hand of intervention. Yet do the people still clamor for a king? For surely if the one that had really been chosen to lead were to officially resume his role as commander-in-chief, then their minds would be put at ease, as they believe it is this vessel himself that shall restore the American dream, and that he himself is the key to seeing this nation prosper. And so have many pinned all their hopes upon this man named Donald, who has in their hearts become like an idol, though he is not hewn out of wood or stone. Yet still do they worship him, and as such, it is in him that they have put their trust. So while much has been prophesied about his return, the expectations are misplaced as to how that shall unfold. For even now, who in their own right could have predicted the chain of events that are occurring, as the wicked seemingly continue to triumph over the good? Who then can rightly conceive all that shall transpire in the days ahead, as those who are my chosen oracles only see in part? For although in the past did these vessels accurately interpret my thoughts, still did the unforeseen occur, as man's free will was, and still is, a determining factor in seeing my will come to pass. It is for that reason that none should be found placing their hopes for the future on anyone, as the fulfillment of much of what I have spoken is predicated upon man's obedience to my directives. See then, does not what was seen in the previous election cycles depict that which I have just spoken? For were not the rebellious standing in opposition to my throne? Surely then those corrupt leaders had already decided to steal that which did not rightfully belong to them long before a single ballot was cast, thus delaying my sovereign will from unfolding. For indeed do those insurrectionists hold high seats of power around the globe, and as such were aptly positioned to commandeer for a brief time the heading of this nation. However, it shall not be this man Donald that overthrows this wicked cabal, but it shall be me that causes their undoing. For regardless of who is seated in the Oval Office, if this globalist faction still exists, the undermining of American freedom will continue. Know for a certainty that this insidious group has agents deeply seated in every branch of her government, and that in order to thoroughly root them out shall require the intervention of a higher authority than is given to a sitting president. Hear me then, dear ones, let your hopes rest in me alone, for there is a much broader battle afoot than can be solved by an elected official. Therefore lift your sights above the upcoming election, and instead keep your eyes fixed upon the spiritual plane where the real battle is being waged. For it is here that the evil which prevails in this nation shall be stopped. Repent then, if you must, over any idolatry found in your hearts regarding this man named Donald, as I alone should be enthroned as the king of your lives. No longer consider him as the solution to what is ailing this nation, for it is me and me alone who shall rightfully restore back to America that which her enemies have stolen.
As you can see from this word, it's important as believers to guard our hearts against the subtleness of idolatry and yet to earnestly pray for those the Lord desires to place in positions of authority in our communities, states, and nation. Thank you again for joining me today.